Hi everyone, I'm here with your weekly astrology report for the week of February 25th to March 3rd of 2019. If you're interested in getting your own astrology chart interpretation, your own birth chart interpretations, I do those on Etsy. You can click below. As well as I do a newsletter. That's free on my website. You can sign up for that. And I do new moon and full moon newsletters that let you know kind of what the energy is going on for each of those particular celestial events, so to speak. Let's get going though with our, I've got my handy notebook here with our astrology for the week. Headlines for the week. The big one is that Venus is moving into the sign of Aquarius on Friday, March 1st. So Venus has been, she, I should say, has been in the sign of Capricorn, which is a more conventional type of sign. It's a sign that Venus and Capricorn people tend to like more, have more conservative taste, like more sort of classical stylings. They tend to be a little bit more toned down in their appearances, but they do like the finer things in life. So don't mistake Venus and Capricorn for boring. They like the finer things, that's for sure. Well, now she's moving into Aquarius, an air sign. So Venus in Aquarius is very much, that's when she's wants to be more intellectually stimulated. So she could be wooed with fine food in Capricorn, but not so much when she's in the sign of Aquarius. So this is definitely the sign of those who are more intellectually focused. They want someone who tickles their mind, especially somebody with unusual ideas, somebody who's like kind of a bit of a genius or a rebel, or just kind of different. So when Venus is in Aquarius, we're looking for things that are a little bit different and things that are in our romantic life. We want something that kind of stimulates us in that way. Definitely, you know, this is a sign where people are looking maybe for a little bit more of a rebellious element to their love life, but they definitely want some new ideas, and they want something that, like I said, intellectually stimulates them on some level. So in our Oracle of the Radiant Sun, we have here detachment for Venus in Aquarius. So here you see like the ship in the distance, sort of indicating travel, and then you've got the head here with no hair, very intellectual type of focus, which definitely goes with that. Venus in Aquarius can be a little bit detached. Venus, when it's in an air sign, you know, isn't as overtly sort of demonstrative in affections or romance. But I would say it's, you know, it still is a sign that they want a little bit of a spark there, because it is Aquarius, which is the sign of those who are a little bit different. Those who are the geniuses, the rebels, the inventors, the people that kind of push boundaries a little bit. And so we maybe want something a little more exciting in our love life, and also in maybe the way we express ourselves, the way that we dress, the way that we design things in our art, in the way we decorate our homes. We might feel like we want to shake things up a little bit in that area, and maybe look at some new ideas that we haven't looked at before, or be inspired by things that we aren't usually as inspired by in those particular areas. On a secondary note, we do have a fourth quarter moon, a last quarter moon at 5:28 a.m. on Tuesday, February 26th. So this is a good time. Quarter moons are always a time that challenges us when it comes to our intentions that we set at the new moon. So this is kind of the final little challenge, the little wrap up for whatever intention we set at the new moon. So we have Sun in Pisces and Moon in Sagittarius. So it's really challenging us to look at sort of the big picture of where we want to go overall with our dreams. What's our goal? Where are we headed? And also it sort of challenges us in the area of how does this fit into our overall picture of our lives and our philosophy as we try to integrate this particular intention into the rest of our lives. So we do have that quarter moon coming up, and that is on, like I said, Tuesday. So let's get to the day-to-day. It's not a super active week, but like I said, we do have a planet changing signs, so that does kind of change up the energy a little bit this week. We also have Saturn slowing down as it prepares to go retrograde next week. So we are in the retrograde shadow, so you might start to see some communication breakdowns. You might start to see communication gets delayed, things like that as the week goes on. And we have Taurus as well, or pardon me, not Taurus is sign, Uranus preparing next week to move into the sign of Taurus as well. So we're going to say goodbye to it in Aries. It's at 29 degrees, which is called the anaretic degree. And what that means, fancy word, is a planet at 29 degrees as a sign is often quite volatile. So as it prepares to leave a sign, we usually have one last sort of event or one last thing that happens that kind of wraps up the theme of what that planet in that sign was about. So we'll talk more about Uranus and Taurus next week and the Mercury retrograde next week, but they are both of those, just be prepared, both of those are happening next week. So we start the week on Monday with the moon making a void at 6:14 a.m. These are all in Central Standard Time, and then moves into the sign of Sagittarius at 3:19 p.m. on Monday. So we start out the mornings kind of easygoing, steady as you go. Moon moves into Sagittarius, which moon rules our moods. So we're a little more fun-loving. We want to go out and do things, we don't really want to do a lot of hard work. We want to have some fun, joke around, have some laughter when it comes to Monday. Then we have on Tuesday, like I said, we have the quarter moon, the last quarter moon on Tuesday. So we might find that last challenge coming up to whatever intention we sent earlier in the month. Wednesday, the moon remains in Sagittarius. So again, that late Monday, Tuesday, and all of Wednesday, we have that Sagittarius energy, that fun kind of energy going on. It is a good time to travel. It is a good time to host a party. It is a good time to do anything where, if we're doing something at university or you're doing anything involved with the law or publishing, it's a good time for that as well. The sun is sextile Mars on Wednesday, so there might be a lot of nervous energy. So make sure you're exercising. Make sure that you're, challenging that extra energy in a really positive way on Wednesday. Thursday, we have a void moon at 12:17 a.m. and then the moon moves into very quickly into Capricorn at 12:48 a.m. So we get a little bit more serious as the week goes on. Thursday, we're like, okay, it's time to get down to work. We've had enough fun at the beginning of the week. Let's go. Let's get down to work. Let's get down to business. We're better able to kind of organize things as the week goes on. Mercury has a sextile on that day as well with Venus. So this is kind of a calm day. It's a really good day to communicate our feelings to others. It's a good day to communicate, especially with women around us, to communicate about art, communicate about, like I said, our feelings, our emotions, our relationships. It is a very calm kind of day on that day. Friday, moon remains in Capricorn. We do have Venus making a square with Uranus on that day. So this is a day where on Friday, we want to put a little excitement into our love life. Like as Venus prepares to move into Aquarius, it's kind of interesting. It makes a square with Uranus. So we might want to shake things up. For those of you who are single, you might meet someone unusual that really kind of strikes your fancy, somebody normally wouldn't. You might be inspired by something that you're not usually inspired by. There's something unusual when it comes to our aesthetics or our love life on Friday. Friday, we also have Venus moving into Aquarius later in the day at 10:45 a.m. So a lot of just kind of inspiring energy where Venus is in your particular chart. Saturday, we have a void moon at 12:47 p.m. and then moon moves into Aquarius at 1:06 p.m. on Saturday. So Aquarius energy for Saturday and Sunday, where hard work's kind of done. Maybe you want to, again, it's all about shaking things up, doing things a little bit different, doing something you haven't done before. It's also very intellectual as well. It's good for doing computer work. It's good for doing anything in the sciences. But we want to want to rebel and do things a little bit differently on the weekend or try something we haven't tried before. Saturday, we do have Venus making a sextile with Chiron. So this is a really good time to have some really healing kind of conversations with a partner, with those that we love, to do some healing on a really fundamental level. It's also a good time, you might run into someone you haven't seen in a while that maybe gives you an apology, or you apologize to them, or you connect when you haven't. So it's a good day to kind of heal some old wounds on the Saturday. Sunday, there's no major aspects. We do have the moon remaining in Aquarius for the rest of the day. So not a terribly busy week. We start out the week kind of feeling like, hey, kind of relaxed, kind of wanting to have some fun. There's a little bit of excess energy we need to burn off. And then as the week goes, Thursday, Friday, we're kind of getting down to work, especially like if we've got to get stuff done. Thursday, Friday, we'll get stuff done. Friday's got a little bit of excitement in our love life. And then Saturday, we, because we're doing things differently and we're shaking up our routine, we're able to kind of have some of those conversations we need to have, or run into people maybe we haven't seen in a while that we need to do some repairing with, or they need to do some repairing with us. So that's what I'm seeing for the week. If you have any questions or comments, please put in the comments box below. I love seeing them. Thank you so much for watching again. And as always, peace, love, rock and roll.